making her first stock car start as she starts well back behind the rest of the starting field. Schoenfeld in the 43, McFarland in the 114, and the number 14 of Taylor. Bring him in for green flag racing at the Music City Motorplex. Contact between the top two cars in that front row as Schoenfeld went up the banking. The 114 of McFarland was down the banking a little bit, but they are able to make it to the back straightaway and into turn 3. Low zero of David Hull started in the 4th spot, looks for 3rd. That is a battle for the final transfer position off of corner 4. And David Hull at the line, your 3rd place competitor on lap 1. Schoenfeld, McFarland, Hull, Taylor. 92 car of Hogan already pit side. 38 car of Hamner has moved into the top 5 by way of the 08 of Larry Speakman. Back in the field, we have a battle between the 49 of Stanley Smith and the 48 of Joe Ross. Smith able to pick up a spot. Also Greg Boone to the low side of Larry Speakman. Boone on the inside, Speakman on the high side as they race to 3. Dennis Schoenfeld, Ken McFarland, David Hull, top 3 cars in the running order. Your 3 transfer spots. Speakman continues to drop back. In the Hope Missions Guatemala for Christ SNF custom sign, the sponsored 08, Larry Speakman from Somerville, Alabama, drops off the pace on the back straightaway. Schoenfeld, the driver from Concord, North Carolina, building up a big lead over the 2nd place car of McFarland. David Hull racing there in the 3rd spot as the final transfer car, thinking about a run for the runner-up position. David Hull on the outside of McFarland for the 2nd spot. Hull able to work by the 114 of McFarland. Zach Taylor in the number 14 running in the 4th position. Your leader is Dennis Schoenfeld. Sunday Eden has gone pit side, as well as the 91 of Rich Segovich, calling it an evening for this last chance race. Eden will be a provisional starter in the 150 halfway through this 15-lap race. 8 laps complete, 7 laps remaining. Battle for position off of the 2nd turn. Stanley Smith in the 49 making a run at the number 2 car of Patrick Lawson. And problems down in the corner. Hull has spun up into the wall as Greg Boone. He's collected there in the accident with David Hull and Ken starters in this event. Down to 7 remaining. 3 will transfer. The rest will run the 40-lap clash coming up later this evening. Dennis Schoenfeld, Ken McFarland, Zach Taylor come off of 4 for Green Flag Racing. 6 to go. Top 3 transferring. Ready see Hamner in the 38 taking a look to the 2nd, even up to the 3rd lane, trying to get a run on the 3rd place car of Zach Taylor. Schoenfeld again trying to stretch his lead out over the 2nd place car of McFarland. Looks like he will be able to do that. McFarland really checking up in the middle of 3 and 4. Schoenfeld again pulling away. McFarland back in 2nd, Taylor running 3rd. And now Patrick Lawson making a run at Stanley Smith. We saw a little bit of contact in 3 and 4 as Lawson got a look to the inside of Stanley Smith.
And that cost both of them some ground as Smith got loose and Lawson had to back off as a result.
Here comes Hamner on the inside of Taylor for the 3rd and final transfer spot. And Hamner has moved into the transfer positions as he follows McFarland and Schoenfeld.
Tough break for the local boy Taylor, looking to come back as they go through turn 2.
Taylor now slipping back a car length or so behind the 38 of Hamner. Stanley Smith with some handling problems running in the 5th position as his car went up the banking a couple of laps. trying out that second groove now. Lawson running back there in the 2 car, and the 92 car of Carl in that final running position. Final circuit, one more lap to go for Dennis Schoenfeld, Ken McFarland, and Josh Hamner. Taylor in the 14, one spot out of a transfer position, closed in on the 3rd place car in turn 2, couldn't make the move. Heading to turn 4 is Schoenfeld. He will come down the front straightaway as the winner of the first last chance. Some contact for the 3rd spot, but it's going to be Hamner hanging on. Front row starters, Johnny Brazier, Mark Day, 2nd row. 3rd row, Steve Monk. And to his outside, the 121 of John Van Dorn. Those are the top 6 starters as we go green flag racing in corner 4. Well, 3 cars dropping back from the field. 3 cars that will take provisional starting spots. Tommy St. John, Kenny Tweedy, and Jason Shively. Johnny Brazier sideways on the backstretch while running in the 4th spot. Lepak has dropped back to 3rd. Your leader, Adam Royal.
Lepak got a terrible start, very much to the advantage of Mark Day, who passed Johnny Brazier going on the outside, ends up in 2nd.
So Adam Royal, Mark Day, and the 40 car of Lepak as we've got a yellow on the raceway. Caution flag displayed. Look out pace car as they will pull out onto the racetrack. And chance Royal, Day, and Lepak will bring the field off of turn number 4 for green flag racing once again. 1 lap down, 14 laps remaining. Day all over the race leader as they head through 1. Off at 2 though, Royal able to pull away. Lepak trying to hang on to 3rd. Here comes Johnny Brazier in the 71 car to the low side. Johnny Brazier currently in 4th. Had a run at Lepak on the backstretch, but the Wisconsin driver able to hold off the Alabama driver, at least on that circuit. And now Lepak starts to stretch his advantage over the 71 car of Brazier. Steve Monk runs in the 5th position, and Hatesma runs in the 6th spot. 7th is Van Dorn, 8th is Bob Siblet Jr., 9th is Johnny Jenkins, and 10th is Don Young.
So is Day content to run in 2nd, or do you think he goes after Royal for the lead?
Well, I don't think he'll do anything out of the ordinary to make his move. If he gets an opening, he'll take advantage of it. But at this point, he will be satisfied with that 2nd spot. Lepak, meanwhile, is starting to close back in on the top 2. He pushed a little high off of the 2nd turn that slowed his run that time. Day is also closing in once again on the 89 of Royal. 5 laps complete, 10 circuits remaining for Royal. Adam Royal, the Farmington, Michigan driver, Perpec Hoses and Assemblies automobile, holding off Mark Day. Day right there on the rear bumper, heading to 3. Will actually look to the outside in 3 and 4. Royal, meanwhile, holding on to the top spot.
He had a good run on him coming off of turn 2. Let's see if he can duplicate this and make it work this time. Swings up high, dives down low. Nothing there this time around, but he does close right in on the leader's tail.
While that racing goes on, Johnny Brazier still running 1 spot out of the final transfer position in 4th. He'd like to see some more shuffling in front of him, giving him a chance to get into the top 3.
Good racing for the transfer spot on a string as they head through the north end of the track.
Royal, Day, Lepak, and Brazier, the top 4. Back several car lengths to the 38 of Steve Monk and the 77 of Terry Van Hatesma. Saw Brazier, he's going to lose several car lengths. Car wiggled in 1 and 2, and that might cost him a chance to get into the 150.
Yeah, as they come down to complete lap number 10, he's been very loose going through the turns. Loose is fast, but it's going to cost him this time.
Day still working in that 2nd groove. If not anything else, Day putting down a little bit of rubber up in the 2nd lane might come in handy later tonight.
Yeah, that's his preferred groove when he runs late models here. We call that the Jeff Purvis groove.
4 circuits remaining for Adam Royal. Royal, I believe, his first attempt to qualify into a race here at the Motorplex.
Brazier once again closed in on the back of Lepak. Might have one last shot on him with 3 laps to go.
Kenny Tweedy in the number 6 going pit side. He again will make it through a provisional from last year's points of the CRA Super Series. 2 circuits remaining for Adam Royal, Mark Day, and Jeremy Lepak. 71 of Johnny Brazier needs to make a move in less than a lap and a half.
And look how tight they are as they come off a turn 4. Put a blanket over them.
Down into the first corner, we see Day making a run at Royal again. Second group just not strong enough at this point of the evening to make a move on the race leader. Royal heads to turn number 3, racing over to turn number 4, and coming down the front stretch, seeing the checkered flag. Your winner will be Royal. Second place today, and third to Lepak. Johnny Brazier comes up short, as does Steve Monk. Terry Van Hates